Hey guys, Korudo here again, and I just wanted to make a quick video. And sorry, it's been a while since I've uploaded a video, but basically I've been really busy with either getting married, I got married, working on getting a job, or playing games. So this is just kind of what I've been playing lately as well as what I've been doing. And to all my new subscribers, I just really want to say thank you so much. Like, what really matters to me in a YouTube channel is just making something that people enjoy and having them really appreciate it. And my interaction with those people, like every time that someone subscribes to me or leaves a comment, I always get back to them as soon as I can, you know, because like as someone who's been a YouTube viewer for a long time, I understand what it's like being the viewer, and making videos, especially making reviews, there's a lot of work that goes into it. Like, a lot of people don't even realize it. So when people just acknowledge what I do, I appreciate it. And, you know, if they don't care, well, I don't care. But it's just nice to know that people take the time out of their day to look at what I do, and I really appreciate it, so thank you. Anyway, on to what I've been playing lately. And this has pretty much been since the late June, early July. So I'll go in order. Here we go. Paper Mario. This is a fantastic game, and one I really don't have any nostalgia for, simply because, well, as a kid, I didn't play it. I was playing Super Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, Blast Corps, that kind of thing. But, yeah, definitely a great RPG, and if you're getting new into RPGs for the first time, I'd highly recommend this game. Enslaved Odyssey to the West. Now, this is made by Ninja Theory, which are making the upcoming Devil May Cry game, but that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother time, okay? But basically this game is a kind of a different take on Journey to the West with, you know, Son Goku and Oolong and all that. But it's kind of interesting because the main character is named Monkey, and you're teamed up with, it's been a while, I forget her name, but basically these two have to work together to get to the West. And how they go about it is really interesting. Beautiful environments, and kind of a strange post-apocalyptic setting, in the way that, you know, there's overgrowth all over these cities. You see New York City at the beginning of the game, but everything is full of vegetation and some machines. It's pretty cool. I'd recommend it. Armored Core 5. Me and my buddy Sephirim, who, if you guys have ever seen any of my Let's Plays, he's often part of it. We went through the whole game together. And I gotta say, for a mech simulator game, this is fantastic. Very fun. It takes some getting used to, but I would have to say, if you're new to the Armored Core series, this is probably the most user-friendly game out of the entire series, from what I heard. I mean, Sephirim is an Armored Core nut. He's played every single game there is. And, well, I was able to get into it and play just fine, so yeah, I'd recommend it. Very fun. And you can't tell by the box art, but Xenoblade Chronicles. Now, I am so happy this game came out here. I participated in Operation Rainfall, and for those who don't know, this game, along with two others, The Last Story and Pandora's Tower, were three games that were originally not going to be localized over here in North America. And, you know, through a movement called Operation Rainfall, so far, 2 out of the 3 games were brought over, being Xenoblade Chronicles and The Last Story. And Xenoblade Chronicles is interesting because, for one, the voice acting is done by a British team, which may be a turnoff for some people, but I personally think it gives it a little bit of its identity. But it's just really fun. It's kind of like what Final Fantasy XII should have been, in my opinion. Like, Final Fantasy XII, I enjoyed it for what it was, but I felt like a lot of things went on too long. Like, for example, the whole desert scene. And the story and the setting and especially the characters, I didn't really care about at all. Whereas this game has just as much of an expansive setting, but everything is interesting to look at. The characters are all fantastic, the story is interesting, and one of my favorite parts about it is the setting. Basically, let's open this up. You are on this thing, which is actually a Titan called the Bionis. And over here, in the shadow here, is the Mechanus. And basically, they are 2 giant Titans that fought each other and killed each other, essentially. And you are basically humans fighting against... they're called Hums in the game. And you're fighting against people called Mechanus, or rather, Mechon, which are from the Mechanists. So basically you have residents of one corpse and residents of the other corpse fighting it out, and the story that goes along with it. It's awesome. And playing this through to the very end, I was very impressed. Great game. Journey Collector's Edition. This is actually the reversible cover. The normal one you're going to see in stores is this right here. So it has Journey, Flow, and Flower on the front, and on the back it explains it, but I personally like the simplicity of this reversible cover. Anyway, if you want to tell anyone that video games can be art, I would suggest have them play Journey, because it's about a 2-hour game, and it's a $15 download on PlayStation Network, but honestly, I felt that was a very, very well 2 hours spent, and I kind of consider it in the same way that you pay $15 to go see a 3D movie, but, you know, I feel like this was a much more better experience, for lack of a better term. And it's just a fantastic experience, and I'm not going to tell you anything about it. If you have any interest in it, go download it. And the reason I got the Collector's Edition was because I personally like having a physical disc, although it's kind of more of a voucher, essentially. But yeah, I like having a physical release, as well as there's a bunch of extras, which I was interested in. So yeah, great game. Now this one may surprise some people, but honestly I haven't talked much about my stance on the Xbox much, but I got Halo Combat Evolved and I played through it, and this is actually at a flea market I went to. I got an original Xbox, 2 controllers, and about 20 games for about $45. I haggled it down to $45. And some of them are doubles, like I swear, I have 3 copies of this game and 2 copies of Halo 2. But the point is, yeah, I got to experience the Xbox, and I'm liking it. I'm really, yeah. I think it's a fantastic console, and I'm really glad for the whole internal hardware thing, or rather, internal hard drive, I should say. Now, my thoughts on this game. I think console shooters are pretty fun. I'm not huge into them for the most part, the exception being Borderlands. But, yeah, I enjoyed this. It was pretty cool, but personally, maybe it's just because this game hasn't aged that well, but I don't really see what the big deal is. Like, the original Halo 1, what I thought the coolest thing was the concept of the Covenant and the concept of the Halo base. That's cool. And of course the Flood, but I think it's just because I'm not huge into shooters. I'm running and shooting. And you could say that for anything, like basketball, you're just running down the court and shooting a ball into a hoop. With baseball, you're hitting a ball with a stick. But I guess it's just not as much of my cup of tea. And, well, if I were to say how much did I enjoy this, I would say 7. It's like, it's great for what it was, but it's just not my thing. Now, on the other hand, the thing that really is my thing, Mega Man. So we got Mega Man ZX here. And I tell you, finding this game for cheap is not easy. I somehow managed to find it on eBay for about 20 bucks, but normally that game costs about 40 bucks, which is the main reason why I haven't picked it up. As much as I like Mega Man, I've played it before, and I'm not really willing to pay top dollar for these games. And the appeal for me was, I played all the way through the original Mega Man Zero games, which are a spin-off of the Mega Man X games. And this being the spiritual sequel to that. Yeah, I like the fact that you can play as several different character styles. Like, you can play as essentially Zero, X, Harpuya, Leviathan, Phantom, and Fafnir. I mean, they're not called that, but that's pretty much what they are. But yeah, I think it's a pretty fun game, and I'm definitely looking forward to the sequel. Now, I mentioned Operation Rainfall earlier, and I got the last story. Unlike this game, or rather, unlike Xenoblade, this game is not published by Nintendo. It's published by Xseed. And this is just a huge display case. I can't find the disc right now. But it came in this collector's edition pretty much for the exact same price. And it's a completely different style of RPG. And, alright, Xenoblade Chronicles originally was going to be called Monado, Beginning of the World. In my opinion, that's what it should have been called, because that's a better title in regards to what the story's about. But, you know, Xenoblade, Xenogears, it catches your eye. And that's exactly it. The director of Xenogears, Xenosaga, helped a lot with Xenoblade Chronicles. And the last story is made by, I believe, Hironobu Sakaguchi, I think. The guy who made Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy, last story. Yeah. But they're two completely different kinds of games. Xenoblade Chronicles is more of a MMO style of single-player game like Final Fantasy XII. And the last story is more of a just much more condensed experience. I think it's pretty fun. It's very character-driven, very... This is my wife. Final Fantasy XII is very Xenoblade Chronicles is very, you know, open world MMO style of game, kind of like. Come in. Whereas the last story is much more condensed and character-based. You basically go around in a group of mercenaries striving to become knights. And that's pretty much all I'm going to say about the story for now. But it is a fantastic game, and if you want to play an RPG, then try something original, and try something very fun, and doesn't really forget that it's a video game. If you don't like grind-heavy RPGs, you'll probably like this game. Okay, so, Shinobi for 3DS. Now, I played some of the original Shinobi games on the Sega Genesis. I played a little bit of Return of Shinobi, and I own Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master, but yeah, I haven't played those in a long time. But I was really glad to see Sega working on one of their older IPs. So, this is Jiro Musashi, father of Joe Musashi, which is of, you know, Shinobi 2 and 3, and I guess the original Shinobi. And this game is hard. Like, what makes it hard is not the fact that you can die easily, but the fact that the levels are like 20 minutes long, and it's very unforgiving. But, you know, those kind of games are just great to beat, because once you do beat them, you can feel proud that you accomplished something. The game demands that you get better at the game in order to beat it, and that's exactly what I did. And just, you know, for score attack purposes and just playing through it for fun, I'll definitely come back to this game. If you like a really tough-as-nails game, I recommend this. It's great. Now, earlier I had mentioned that I played Banjo-Kazooie on the Nintendo 64, and thing is, I never really played the sequel until recently, Banjo-Tooie. Now, I don't have any nostalgia for this whatsoever, because, like I said, I got it just, you know, a few months ago, and I'm finally getting around to playing it now, and it's a fantastic game. Other than the fact that it forces first person on you, it's pretty good. It's really good, actually. I mean, I understand why they did it. They made GoldenEye, but Rare, the company who made the game. I don't know if it's on the box. Yeah, Rare. You know, back in their heyday, they made a lot of great platformers, and then they made GoldenEye 007 and Perfect Dark on the Nintendo 64. And I believe this game came out after both of those, so it kind of wanted to try out its hand at, Banjo-Kazooie's hand at, you know, a first-person shooter game. And it doesn't do that all the time, just sometimes, but picture Banjo holding Kazooie like a gun, and just uses her beak as a bayonet and shoots eggs for bullets. And it's pretty cool, but my problem with the N64 and first-person games is that it's way too finicky. Really bad. But after a while you get used to it, and I think what I liked the most about it was just it had the same charm as the original. Gruntilda wasn't quite in it as much, but I thought it was really great. Especially the final boss. Oh my gosh, that is probably one of my favorite boss fights of all time. And I was just surprised, and maybe I'll make a video about that some other time. But basically, this game lets you have every single ability you have in the original Banjo-Kazooie, as well as, you know, an entire game's worth of new ones. So, seriously, if you have not played this game on the Nintendo 64, and you like 3D platformers, play Banjo-Kazooie, and then play this. You really owe it to yourself. I almost forgot, there was one more game I have been playing. I haven't beat it yet, but I mean, I beat it before, but I'm playing it again. And that is Pokemon Red. I just had a hankering for playing through this game again. I think after seeing the completionist video about Pokemon, where you could actually catch Mew in a glitch, I decided to go through the game again, catch Mew, and just go with a brand new team. And this is primarily how I've been playing it. as haphazard as it looks, it's actually quite comfortable. This is obviously the Game Boy Advance SP with Pokemon Red, and then this thing, whatever it is. It's like this little attachment I got at the exchange a couple of years ago, and it makes playing with a Game Boy Advance SP much more comfortable, because I don't know about you, but like playing like this gets really old after a while. So, let's see, my current team, I can actually pull it up, hang on. If anyone's interested in what my current team is, it's, let's see, what do we got? Electabuzz, this is probably backwards, so I'll just read it to you. Electabuzz, Parasect, Mew, Marowak, which I've never trained a Marowak before, Kabutops, and Charizard. I actually traded over Charizard to Pokemon Yellow, because for some reason, Charizard and Dragonite, you can't teach them HM2 Fly, but in Yellow you can, so, yeah. Now Charizard can fly everywhere. I'm actually about 2 levels away for a challenge the Elite Four. Everyone except Electabuzz is level 55. And that's for anyone who cares. I love Pokemon. This game hasn't aged too terribly well, but I have enough nostalgia that it cancels out, so good times. And that's what I've been playing the past 2 months. I just want to say, you know, sorry I haven't been making as many videos, but, you know, being unemployed at the moment, I don't have as many resources as I would like. For example, I want to get a different camera, but, you know, I can make excuses all day, like, I want to get a better camera, I want to, you know, have better software, but the point is, right now, today, I wanted to make a video, I wanted to share what was going on with you guys, and just what I've been up to. So, pretty soon, my wife and I, along with my friend, we are 3 of us going to go play through Borderlands 2, and I actually picked this up on launch day. But I haven't really done anything with it yet, simply because the downloadable character Gage, the Necromancer, is going to be coming out in about 2 weeks, and my wife really wants to play as that character, so I'm holding off until then. And yeah, the 2 of us will play split screen, and we'll play with Sephirim online, and we're going to go through the whole game together. It's going to be awesome. So I'll let you know how that goes whenever we finish the game. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. More reviews coming, more videos coming. Take care.